news?
Yeah!
There is a riot after Chinese teachers try to stop pupils from cheating.
A riot?
Yes, so
Chinese people are that against not cheating.
exactly. It's so
Stop cheating, no way! They're like, protest.
They fight for their rights to cheat.
that's exactly right.
That is fucking crazy, yo.
So in China, I guess this is like equivalent of the high school exit exam, except it's way more important. So this relatively small city called Zhongxiang in Hubei
Which means
province.
it's like 4 million people.
This small city of 4 million Chinese.
So they're notoriously known for scoring really high in this small city, right?
I wonder why.
Yeah. So in this place, this year they decided to hire people that were not parents or teachers to chaperone the test to make sure there's no cheating going on. So these outsiders came in and they were super tough. Like they scanned everybody for devices, including random things that they stuck into the erasers and like cell phones. Like kids were putting cell phones in their fucking underwear and shit. Like, you know, trying to do stuff to cheat on the test.
So they haven't been doing that? Because I know you in the US for standardized testing like SATs and stuff, like if you're taking it at like Cerritos High School, they'll have like another city's teachers proctor the exam.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty standard.
Guess they weren't.
You can't be having your mom fucking proctoring you crazy.
Well, this is the first year that they've experienced that. So, of course, after the test, because almost all of them planned on cheating on that test, so they couldn't cheat on the test, and they went home, told their parents, "Mommy, I didn't do as well because they didn't let me cheat." So, the parents went to the school, multiple parents went over there and they were like, "This is absurd.
This is an outrage! You always let my son cheat! How about you take a bribe?" "No, you're not gonna take a bribe? What do you mean my son can't cheat?" "No!"
That's crazy.
No, this is what they said. So this is quote, Mr. Yin. "I picked up my son
Mr. Yin.
at midday from his exam. He started crying. I asked him what was up and he said a teacher had frisked his body and taken his mobile phone from his underwear. I was furious and I asked him if he could identify the teacher. I said we should go back and find him."
Wait, he's not mad that his son had the phone in his underwear.
Uh-huh.
Or that he was crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was crying, my dad would have beat my ass for crying.
Yo, why you crying? Why is your cell phone in your underwear?
It's so crazy though that the parents are not even mad that their kids are cheating. They're mad that they're not letting them cheat. Like, what kind of parenting is this?
Fucked up parenting.
I think they're mad at the precautions that they took to prevent them from cheating. Like if they, I'm sure like a lot of parents wouldn't be comfortable with like having their kids frisked just in case like, you know, they
Yeah,
would
but
cheat.
this is Asia. They're allowed to do a lot more than out here. Like yeah, I think the laws changed now, but in our parents' generation, the teachers were beating the fuck out of the kids.
And they didn't have cell phones.
They're more closer to being parental figures and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're a lot more personal with the students than teachers out here.
No, they were mad because they didn't let the kids cheat. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're, you know, so fair and stuff. So, by late afternoon, the invigilators were trapped in a set of school offices as groups of students pelted the windows with rocks. Outside, an angry mob of more than 2,000 people had gathered to vent its rage, smashing cars and chanting, "We want fairness! There is no fairness if you do not let us cheat!"
Oh my god!
Fair! What? Okay, there's gotta be something wrong with the society that feels that cheating is fair.
Is it like a very like impoverished town and like they have very little opportunities, so the only way that their kids can have a better life is if they kind of like cheat and then they go to a good university and then is that?
Well, in almost all of Asia though, that standardized high school test is gonna dictate the rest of your life.
Right.
So the pressures are extremely high all across Asia, but not all across Asia do people demand the right to cheat on those tests.
Well, you know, mainland China is like notorious for like corruption in government, in police, in people,
In education.
in business. So it's probably just a way of life. Because look at the way that they openly bootleg shit and think that it's normal. Like they're like, well, I copied this product fair and square. What are you talking about? What is this?
Copied it fair and square, I love
That's how they think.
I did this.
Like, you know when they go to trade shows, they're there with rulers and fucking cameras taking pictures of like all these products, measuring it, and then there'll be a copy of that new product like within a week.
That's true, because I remember in Asia, when you go to the department stores,
No photo.
yeah, if you want to take a picture, they're immediately like, no pictures, no pictures, no. But out here, it doesn't matter where you go, they don't care. Like, you can Instagram a shoe or whatever. But out there, I think bootlegging is so crazy, they're like, stop it right now.
True.
I should have fought for my right to take pictures of those things.
Yeah, that's so funny.
They probably just been like so accustomed, like you said, to like the concept of cheating, without the negative connotation, but more like the aspect that it's a way of life since like the Ming Dynasty or something like that.
Imagine during a basketball game, like some fool's about to shoot a free throw and he throws fucking pepper in his eyes, and the ref's like, no pepper, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy. I've been throwing pepper my whole life.
In ridiculous news.
I like that kind of news.
Ridiculous.
She likes ridiculous.
Redix.
Ontario couple finds 400-year-old skeleton and gets a $5,000 bill.
What?
Wait, how can you find something and then you get charged for it?
That's what's ridiculous.
Duh.
Did he dig up in an illegal area?
Go.
So they live on this house in Ontario, in Canada, Ontario. Ontario. So this man was gonna build a fence. So he was digging, and then he found some bones. So he goes, hey honey, I found some bones in our property. And she goes, ooh, cool, why don't you dig up some more and see if you can find something else. He keeps digging, and then he finds a skull and pretty much
OMG.
They find out that it's an Aboriginal woman.
How deep did he dig?
Damn.
Because to find 400-year-old bones, you can't tell me it's
He's
like
like, I'm gonna
6
have
feet.
the illest fence ever.
Aborigine though,
mean?
like to
Like-
find Aborigine peoples in Canada.
400-year-old bones, like
That
6 feet
is
under. No, how far was this
crazy.
boat?
I don't think it was 6 feet because
I just made it. I just threw out a really ridiculous
because
number.
probably back then it might not have been 6 feet, so it might have been pretty shallow, and they don't even know what happened to her. They're just saying this was
Like
a
corrosion of the earth.
24-year-old Aboriginal woman.
24?
Yeah.
I bet you she was fine. Okay, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. In her time, she was in her prime. All right.
And she was
damn.
fine.
Hey.
But she died hella early.
That didn't even rhyme. Fucked it all up.
You know why she died early? Cause she had so many dudes fighting over her. 2 fucking Neanderthals were fighting, and then they threw a rock, and she was like, "No!" and it fucking hit her in the face. That's what
That doesn't rhyme either.
Well, you killed it, so you just took it somewhere else.
All right, so keep going.
So back on track. She goes, "Ooh, cool! You found bones. Dig them up." He finds a skull, finds everything, and then he calls anthropologist Michael Spence.
The fuck? You just had anthropologist.
It's Google. Come on, Google.
Let me call it anthropologist
No.
up in this bitch. So you're telling me if you Google anthropologist, a number will pop up? Your local anthropologist?
Maybe. I don't know. You can rate prisons on Yelp, okay?
It's true, but he actually called the police, and the police called the anthropologist.
That makes more sense.
So now,
He's all mad, dude.
Wait, how does the police got an anthropologist on speed dial?
They probably have a big list
Yeah.
of contacts. Like probably for forensics or all sorts of things.
Because I would call a university.
Because they don't know it's 400 years old.
yeah, he's a
They just found bones.
Yeah, forensic anthropologist.
So he would call the police. That would make sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
So the law says that if you find remains on your property and it has to be examined or whatever, you're gonna be stuck with a bill, a $5,000 bill, to examine the body and stuff because it was on your property. But it's like, dude, we're not on this freaking property like 400 years ago. So that's why this is redonkulous, because she's like, I ain't paying for this shit. So she's like, I'm gonna try to tell the mayor to pay for it, like try to have the, because it's historical stuff. Yeah.
Why don't the government pay for it? It's for science.
Yeah, and then she's the biggest concern that she has is that if anybody else finds bones or like remains of people in their property, they're not gonna report it.
it.
That's what she said. Like her friends were telling her, you know what? If I find anything about, I'm not gonna report it because I don't want to be stuck with a $5,000.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then murder cases are gonna be unknown and unsolved. So
Yeah, that's a stupid rule. They should change that
What
shit.
if they found some like something that was like crazy, like they found
It's like a T-Rex. You're like, that's gonna be like 10 G's. Fuck that.
Or you find like the missing link, like Bigfoot or something, like, you know, some crazy shit.
Alien shit.
and they're like, oh no, cover that shit up, forget about it.
Buried in the neighbor's lawn.
Yeah, now you know if you ever kill anybody, put it in someone's yard.
In Ontario, yeah.
Yeah. Not California.
Put them in their own yard so they get charged. It's like double whammy.
Well, they probably see it as like, well, someone's gotta pay for this. I'm not paying for it. That's what the government's saying.
That's
right?
what the taxes should be used
But
for.
if they're smart, they could like, I don't know, exploit the freaking bones and put in a museum and
yeah, exactly. She should have. They should have sent that straight to the museum and
How
have
does
the
it cost
museum pay for it.
$5,000 to get a body out the yard?
I think like the autopsies or whatever. Like
What it is the forensic anthropologists, they're taking advantage of this rule. And what they're doing is they're just throwing fucking sprinkles of bones here and there, hoping that they'll find it. That's why it wasn't 6 feet deep. It was just like, they went like this, they put a fucking leaf right there. Boom.
they're in on it. You blew their cover.
This Michael Spencer guy, he already talked to the cops. He's like, you're gonna get a phone call. I want you to connect them to me.
And then they're like, oh, you found a bone, did you? They're like, we got the shit, yeah.
It was under a leaf, you say?
Landlord news.
Landlord.
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 So these landlords from hell accept prison terms for terrorizing their tenants.
What? So they got prosecuted?
Let's hear it.
Admitted to guilt. So, in 2005,